Awesome. Okay, so does anybody have any announcements really quick before we get started? I know that on the other team call I said welcome to Jaden. It's her first night of team calls. But does anybody else, please turn your guys' screens on. Thank you. Simone can talk to me anytime to my face. She wants to see you too. Cool. Okay, well, if nobody has anything tonight, I'm just going to get into it right away. I have like a million things in my brain that I want to talk to you guys about, but I'll probably just do a live video at some point this week and share that with you guys. But I just want to introduce Simone to you guys, and then I'll let her kind of take over from here. So we actually kind of connected at like, I would say probably the beginning of both of our coaching journeys, just connected through Instagram and tried to meet up at Summit last year. It just didn't even happen. And so we finally got the opportunity to meet on the cruise this year, and so much fun. And we just got to talking and saying that we're kind of at this point in our businesses, like kind of at the same spot where we almost need to just join forces and start running these things together. So she is a certified personal trainer, a nutritionist and health coach, peanut butter and red wine lover, and Beyonce lookalike. Did I say all that right? Yes. So Simone, I'll just let you take it over from here. If you guys have questions for her, just put them in the chat and she can get to them at the end. But she is going to be talking to us tonight about social media. So if you want to like just start a little bit with your story first and just go from there.
Yeah, cool. First of all, in the chat, can you comment how long you've been coaching? So I'm assuming it's maybe a little less than Ashley and I, who have been coaching. I think it's like 16 months now, or maybe a little more, 18 months. What do we got? A couple of weeks. Good job, Abby. Because this will kind of help me be able to help you a little better in regards to posting and things like that. 7 months. All right, cool. Okay, so that's good. We got lots of fresh people on here, so that's cool. I feel like what I have is going to be good for you guys. My name's Simone, as Ashley said. I am Australian. I've been living in the US. If I talk funny and you don't understand me, just let me know and I'll slow it down a little bit. I get excited and don't breathe and talk really fast. I've been living here for about 2.5 years now. So I actually, crazy story, found my coach, who's Ruth Schroner, when I was in Australia, and she was doing like a search for like influencers or, you know, like help wanted. And I was like, oh, everything that she's mentioning, I can do. I was a school teacher back home before I moved here, but she'd post about fitness and health, and that's everything that I loved. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. She's like, yeah, it's only in the States. So when my husband and I decided to move here, he's actually from the US. I knew I wanted to be part of it, but then when she started sharing more with me, I was like, oh, no, this sounds a little sketchy. But oh my goodness, best thing I ever did. And now I'm so annoyed I didn't join earlier, because who knows where I could have been. But I guess once I got rid of my like fear, I guess is the word to say, about like, well, I don't know anybody here. I literally knew my husband and then my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, and that's everybody that I knew. So I was like, well, no, I cannot sign anybody up except for my husband. So I was like, I'm never going to be able to grow a business and all the rest of it. So all of those lies, limiting beliefs that I was telling myself. And here I am now. You know, we got to go on a cruise that was paid for by Beachbody, which just blows my mind. But one of my loves, other than fitness and health, is social media. So after teaching, or while I was teaching, I started a blog. It was called 2 Straight Lines. And that's how I got into the blogging world. And then when I left teaching, I obviously couldn't talk about that anymore. So I started writing a fitness and health blog, which was called Sunny Side Up, about positive living and things like that. And it really took off. I got to do lots of collaborations with restaurants and local businesses. And when I up and moved over here, all of that was kind of pulled from underneath me. And that's how SimoneMcKenna.com started. So I just decided to pursue my training and my lifestyle and things like that and share that with the world. And that's kind of where I am today, in which I work with brands and businesses and companies throughout the US, either organizing their social media or sharing through mine and making a nice little side income from that as well. So I wanted to share with you how I schedule my posts, because social media can become really overwhelming, especially when you get on calls or you do webinars or you try and watch everything on YouTube, and then you're like, it's all just too hard, and then you do nothing, and then that's even worse. So I have what I like to talk about with random people and random companies is 30 days of content in 30 minutes. And I know I'm cutting into this time because I like to babble a lot, so I'm going to do it in 20 minutes. So if you're a pen and paper girl, get that out. Otherwise, if you want to take any notes on your computer, I won't be offended if you're not looking at me while I'm talking. Basically, I use 7 buckets because there's 7 days of the week. Now, it used to be that we would have to post 3 and 4 times a day in order for our engagement to be good. And now it's just literally about quality. So if people are engaging with your posts, if people are commenting, sharing, putting it in their story, commenting on your poll, clicking things, that's what we want. So I usually suggest once a day, once or twice a day, and get to know your times the days that you should be posting. If you don't have a business IG, change straight up. Definitely get a business profile, because that way you can look at your engagements. You can have things like the fast messaging, all of the above, which is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But let's get into these 7 buckets. So you've got 7 buckets, 7 days. Everything that you want to do on your Instagram is going to come down to what used to be called the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your content should be to educate people, to entertain people, to inform people, to inspire people. They're your 4 things. That's what's going to keep bringing people back. And the 20% is promotion. Now, I don't know about you guys, if in your team you do once a week or twice a week a call to action, whether it be coaching or challenge group. But, if that's twice a week, if that's how your group is set up, then, you've got to think about that being over 20%. So make sure that you're posting to even that out, because there's nothing worse than every single post. Oh, sorry, I'll write that back. So the 80-20 is to educate, entertain, inform, inspire. So making sure that you're sticking to that. First bucket, so I want you to separate your page, or if you want to write Monday, Tuesday, whatever. First bucket is telling your story. Now, don't think that means every Monday you have to tell the same story again. Okay, because we've all been living for definitely over 18 years, because that's what we have to be a coach. We've all got lots of stories. Don't feel like your story has to be like the woe is me. I did a story just recently on my page, because I felt like, well, I didn't really have any hardships. I didn't really have any troubles. I've been really blessed. My story's not good enough. But the thing is, people resonate with different things. So share your story. What is your why? What is your own personal transformation with Beachbody? Why do you do what you do? How did you get from where you were to where you are now? Those of you in the Beachbody Champions page, Carl will always write in there, the top coaches, what are they always doing? They're comparing. What did they do then to what they do now? What things have improved? So talk about things like your past, relationships, schooling, sleep, energy. Think about why we love going to the movies, or why I love going to the cinema, whatever you want to call it. It's because we're freaking nosy. We want to know about people's lives. And it's the same thing why people follow you on Instagram, is they want to know about your life. They can see in your story that you're working out. So they're getting that content through your story. So through your posts, share about you and choose a picture that kind of relates to that. So if you're talking about the energy that you have, show a photo of yourself outside playing with your kids or walking your dog or whatever it is. But, make sure that it relates, because that's a whole other thing with the Instagram, algorithm. Your hashtags really have to match your content, because if they don't, they're flagged. So yeah, choosing your hashtags wisely to go with that. So I would say that is your bucket number one, telling your story or sharing your story, and change it up each week with what you're sharing, just one thing. Bucket number two is personal opinions. Now, everyone will have a different opinion about this. I personally avoid politics and religion, always. It's not something that I want to dive into on Instagram, nor do I want to dive into it with social media. People are so driven in their ways that you're not going to have a conversation, although it might be really good for your engagement. Like, it's just not something that I want to put my brand or myself behind. So think about other things that you stand for. Like, what are your opinions on something? For me personally, I love food. I always have an opinion on food, whether it be a restaurant, whether it's a healthy food swap that I can find like in Kroger, I share it. So that is like how I share my personal opinion, and people love that. People love coming back to that. If it's a new workout that you've tried, put it in there. Like, I know Ashley does like move of the day. Like, that would be sharing like a personal opinion, because it's like your favorite thing that you've done today. Those of you that are into makeup, like, I really wish I was, because I feel like there's so many followers that want to hear about that. Like, what brand of lipstick do you wear? And that's your personal opinion. Find something, love it, share it. Be authentic, be yourself. Like, if you go to my Instagram page, which is just Simone Mckenna Fitness, you'll find very, very little makeup on there, but it's all very much food, fitness, and I keep just to that. Like, I don't often share anything to do with family because I don't have anything here except for my husband. It's just like, I try and use my page as a brand, as a business, and that's kind of where I go. So keep it very much you that you can stand behind. Bucket number three, client struggles. So we're all really good generally at sharing like a transformation post, and they're really awesome for people who want a transformation. But there's also people that don't have a lot of weight to lose, or are kind of happy with what they're doing. They're just bored in the gym, you know, whatever their situation might be. So try and tap into something a little different. So what I mean by that is client struggles, experiences that you can solve, or problems that you can solve. So a problem and a solution. Think about things like, especially with Fixate coming out, getting kids to be able to eat vegetables. You know, is there someone on your team that's posted a picture of that? Share that, even if you can all share that, you know. Something where you can teach a lesson. So at the moment, I've got a really big focus. I'm trying to build up I call it Sweat with Simone. So that's my big team page for like my clients and coaches. And I'm trying to get everyone to move into like morning workouts, become a morning person, because I'm building them up for the 100 morning meltdown. So at the moment, we're talking about building good routines to getting up in the morning, even if you don't want to, and talking about how in the mornings we don't really have excuses, because other than the fact that we're tired and we can't be, we've just slept for how many hours, like, it's go time. Like, that's when you can get up before the kids. That's when you can get in your workout. You're not full, you're not tired, you haven't got stuff to do, whatever. So that for me is a struggle, and like for people. So I'm sharing that. How are we overcoming that? Like, sharing in my Instagram stories, oh, look at so-and-so who got up for the workout today. Things like that. So that's another bucket there. That's a really good one. Like, that's your day where you'll convert most people from followers to clients. So you've probably noticed when you put in your stories about how the before and afters, like, that's the day when you get most people reach out to you, like, oh, how do I become part of it? Or like, even if they don't sign up, they're interested. So the day that you post that, pay attention to your insights on your IG business page, because that'll give you a lot of info. Bucket number 4, teaching or demonstrating. So think about your niche, think about your target audience, and what do they want to know about? What do they want to hear? This is where I'm really envious of like parents. I don't have kids, so I don't share a lot of like lunchbox meals, things like that, but they're really, really good engagement posts, because a lot of people obviously struggle with that. Like, what can they keep cold, or what can they keep at room temperature that kids will actually want to enjoy? But for me, my target is usually gym goers. I was a personal trainer, worked in a gym for 2 years, so that's the people that are following me. So I share recipes a lot. I try and do like selfie food, selfie food, selfie food as my feed. So they know once or twice a week, 2 and 3 times a week, they're getting a recipe. Sometimes I'll put up the ingredients without the measurements, and then people will reach out to me and ask me for them. And I'll say, look, like I'll share them with you this time. Absolutely, here they are. However, I do usually keep these for my clients because it's unfair that they're paying, and then I'm just offering them for free. Although, side note, they're all offered for free on my website. But it's just like a way that they can see like, oh, wow, she's actually giving her clients some really good content. Or like sometimes I'll leave out like the macros or leave out the calories, and I'll say, and if someone asks me, then I will say, you know, that's offered only to my clients, unfortunately. But it's just kind of building up that FOMO and getting them to want to be part of something else, or at least knowing that that's what we do. You know, we have accountability pods where they can be part of. Workout videos are a really good one for your bucket number 4, teaching and demonstrating. Workout videos, talking about form. I don't know how many of you have done hammer and chisel, but Autumn has some really, really good like one-liners in that. So not only like motivational quotes, but she does some really good explanations of how to squat correctly, how to do a pull-up. So, you know, whatever program you're doing, if there's something good that comes up that day, just, you know, go back afterwards and take a look at it and repost that, because that'll give you some good info. Bucket number 5 is an invitation. So this is where you would go into like promotion, which is your 80-20 split. So things like joining your coaching program, like mentorship group, a challenge group, joining a mailing list if you have a website and you collect email addresses, if you have a YouTube channel, all those kind of things, trying to promote something. It doesn't always have to be like a sign up, but it might be like a free group, or I know you guys are so good at doing like coach sneak peeks. That would be what your bucket number 5 would be. And, you know, once a week, that's what you want, because that would definitely bring you to 80-20 there. Bucket number 6 is think about, so on my website, I have a page for my personal training clients, which is called testimonials. But think about doing that for your online challenges, and I do it through my Instagram, is just like social proof. So maybe it's a message that they've sent you about how they've lost 5 pounds, or maybe it's a message that they sent you about, thank you so, so much. I would never have been able to have done this because of you, whatever. Like either screenshot it or use Canva or whatever you've got to make it look pretty and put it into your stories. Even better if they let you tag you in it, if they let you tag them in it, because it shows credibility. Like they're actually a person. You know how I actually did a post about this a few months back. You know, and people are like, oh, all of you guys have been asking, so I'm going to share with you what I'm doing, and nobody's asked. Like no one said anything. And by tagging someone in it, it shows credibility. Like if I'm sharing Ashley's transformation, you know, making sure that she's not another coach, I would tag her. So my clients, I would tag. If it's coaches within your own team, go for it, share them, tag them in it, because they're obviously going to come back to you. But if it's a coach from another team, I don't suggest sharing it, because they might go to them. So, you know, you don't want to share someone else's story there. But yeah, transformation stories, successes, quotes, photos, all those things that people are sending you, telling you how great you are, share that with the world, let the world know, because sometimes we don't do a very good job of that ourselves. And then our 7th bucket, so your last bucket, is like open house. So what does open house mean? I usually do this on a Saturday. The reason why I do it on a Saturday is my insights are usually a lot lower. Saturdays, you know, parents are at sport games, people are hungover, people are cleaning, there's always like a lot going on a Saturday. Not many people are on their phones. A lot is proven that Sundays are the best day for engagement for most people. Sunday nights are usually good. But Saturday is when I do my open house, and that can be things like inspirational quotes, like really short captions, things that people don't have to do a lot of reading. it might be like a favorite quote that's by somebody famous, or it might be a quote from the workout that I've been doing. Yeah, that's kind of what I use as my open house, I guess. Or if you're just doing something cool, like that's not related to fitness or health, like share that. I'm not very good at doing that because I try and keep mine to a brand, which is my name, so I kind of stand behind there. But yeah, share something else. Share something about your kids. Share something about your animals. Are you renovating? Are you moving? Are you going on vacation? Whatever it might be, share that in your open house. But that's pretty much how I tee up my buckets. And so when I said 30 days of content in 30 minutes, I literally get, do you guys have the dollar store wherever you live? Or like Dollar General? Like buy them, they're like the big calendars. And rather than like using it for scheduling stuff, I just write straight across it. So you can see on, did anyone buy Moira's Rise Up planner? That's what I bought. So that's what I've been using to keep everything together. But so on my May, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I just plan on there, you know, like what I'm posting about. And I have like down the side whether I'm going to be inviting to coaching or whether I'm going to be inviting to a challenge group, because I try and have a continuation so that my stories match my posts and that I'm not like being overwhelming. So I try and do 2 weeks of coaching and then 2 weeks of a challenge group. And then within that is how I schedule it out. So I literally every Monday story. So I know Monday on the 29th, you know, I talked about income. Monday on the 6th, I talked about energy. Monday on the 13th, I talked about friendships. Monday on the, and you know, I just like choose what I'm going to share about my story there. And I will just literally write one little thing. And depending on what scheduling, if you use any scheduling apps, you can either schedule them. I would always post them myself, but that's kind of how I go about it. And then it's also awesome to do that ahead of time because you know what content you need, you know what photos you need. So, for example, this weekend I've got a post. I know that I'm posting about stretching because I'm all for it stretching. So I want to. That's going to be my informative post, talking about like a stretch that you can do really quickly, that will feel really good. You don't necessarily have to be tight, sore, but it'll just like loosen you up, you know, when you wake up in the morning. So this morning when Scott and I went walking downtown, there was a really pretty park. I was like, oh, just get me in Warrior. Like, send me real quick here. And then it's just like ready. So I won't put that up till Sunday, but at least I've got it. I can play around with it, make myself look more like Beyonce and go from there. That's kind of like short and sharp. I feel like I really rushed that, but does anyone have any questions?
Oh my God, that was seriously so amazing. And I think super helpful for a lot of us because there are a lot of new coaches in here right now. And I think one of the things that people struggle with as a new coach is like, what do I post about, pictures that I should take, things like that. And I think it really clearly lays out and gives a really nice, like solid foundation on just where you can start. You know, you can pull so much information just out of each individual bucket too on what you want to post about. One thing that I was going to touch on too that I think is so amazing that you said right in the beginning is like you moved here from Australia. You didn't know anybody coming into this. So you guys, like literally, you have people you can talk to. You have people. You just need to go out and find them. And then another thing that I thought was really awesome too. I don't remember. Oh, just talking about like your target audience. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this on my Instagram, but I have asked like a few times in the past, like I'm really not good with posting about food, even though it's a really big, obviously like part of this journey and part of my life. But I'm so basic when it comes to food that I don't feel like it's post worthy, I guess you can say. But I kind of had to check myself for a second and be like, all right, there are so many other Ashleys of the world that hate cooking, that want to live a healthy lifestyle, that need ideas like this. You know, like you can make a quick, easy salad that doesn't take 15 million different ingredients. Like my spice cabinet, you guys, is embarrassing. It's seriously like salt and garlic salt. Like, that's basically what I season my food with. There's maybe pepper in there. I don't know, you know, but just like, think of what she said, think of what your people want to see. And if you don't know, ask them in your stories, post a question option or post a poll and be like, what do you want to see more from me? You know?
If you want a really good high engagement story, and I probably suggest it more of a story than as a post because it would be a lot neater, is to buy a Chipotle bowl with just like what you would typically order, bring it home and use your portion containers and work out how many portions are in a Chipotle bowl and literally share that with people. Like, use your yellow and see how many serves of carbs in it.
Oh my God, it's insane.
Yeah.
Whenever I go there, I'm like, can you just sprinkle a little bit of rice on top? And usually then it's like maybe just enough, probably a little bit over.
Yeah. It's so much food.
Yeah.
Or another good one is to weigh it. Like, put a Chipotle, but it doesn't have to be Chipotle. I just choose that because I just feel like it's just so overdone. Like, weigh it and show people how much it weighs and just be like, especially so is everyone in here, did everyone buy Fixate?
No.
You didn't? Shame on you. No kidding.
I know, no, for real, shame on me. It's awful.
So I went through it and did the learning. Like, I became a nutritionist about 3.5 years ago. So I felt like I wasn't really going to learn much from it. But also, I did my nutrition course in Australia, and our guidelines are very, very different to here. So I went through and thought, this is going to be a nice little refresher. And I just made like little points from what she had said. And the addiction one got me the most. And I actually took several notes on this. And a really good post, which is actually coming out this week because I have it scheduled, is about how much sugar is in foods that we don't know about. And like, I'm literally going to be pouring that sugar like in my story of how much sugar is in it, because people just don't understand. So this is what I wrote down, so you can quote this, like it's on like UPF, is one person consumes 152 pounds of sugar per year. 152 pounds. That's more than us. Like, that's crazy.
Yuck.
If you go to Kroger or wherever you shop at and there's 4-pound bags of sugar, probably don't pile up 38 of them. Get some together and take a photo or like sit on it. That's what I did. I built some up and then sat on it and I was like, this is 12. The average person consumes 38 of these a year. Like, where are we getting the sugar from? Even if we think we're being so strict, it's like our pasta sauces, our orange juices, things like that. So like, this is literally my Bible of how I get content. But if you're doing personal development every day, like,
yeah, we just talked about that on our last call, and just being like, basically, you know, you're not going to inspire people if you're not being inspired. And that comes from, to you guys, like your business as well. If you're not being inspired in your business, just not just like with yourself and like your own personal stuff, like within your business and your nutrition and your fitness and everything too. Like, I challenge you guys all, if you don't do it already, turn your music off for one of your workouts and listen to what the trainer has to say and see how many inspirational quotes you can take away from that. I know that Autumn always says a ton of them. Shaun T, I mean, Transform 20 is all about mindset. So I challenge you, turn off your music for a few and really listen and be inspired by what these trainers have to tell you. So I don't have the free Zoom, so we have about 7 minutes left. You're like, no, I don't pay for that yet.
You are my person. I do not either. I'm like, 7 minutes, I can talk faster.
Oh my God. So I was just going to look at the chat here and see. So Abby was just saying, what do you do if you don't currently have clients to use for like proof? I'll let you go ahead and answer that.
I'm trying to look back how long Abby's been coaching.
Just a couple weeks.
Okay. Do you take a progress photo every week? Number one, I would suggest doing that. I didn't do that for the first year. Then the first post that I wrote about how I never thought I had a story because I never thought I had a good transformation because I didn't lose 50 pounds. Beachbody didn't save me, whatever. But just showing week to week, not only does it help me, because in my mind, I'm like, oh, people know that I posted on a Sunday. I'm going to be putting it up. If I'm not happy with it, it goes in my story. If I feel like it's got some good progress, I'll post it in my thing. Keeps me accountable. And then you have something every single week. If you don't, I can see you guys do. So in your team, usually there's a few in there that you can share. Beachbody, the coach office, has plenty in there that you can use as well. And then that's a great reason to get someone to do it with you. Grab a friend, grab your mum. You know, like I always say to them, and I have an email that I'm happy to share with Ashley, to share with you guys. It's what I send to my brand new coaches, and I make them send it to 10 people in their first week. And it's basically just like, hey, this is a new thing that I'm doing. I'm starting in like my own fitness journey on Monday. I would freaking love it if you came along with me, not only to like keep me accountable, but so I can share your story and I want your honest opinion. Like, you're my friend. If you don't get results or if you don't like kind of like what I'm giving you, I want to know, and I know you can be honest. Can I count on you? And most of the time your friends are like, okay. Like, I don't want to work out. I'm going to do it because you basically stuck me into it. And then of course they do it. 21 day fix is a no fail. Like, I tell people this all the time. I can guarantee you 30 days money back. I can't guarantee results, but I'll give you my word that if you don't get results, you'll be my very first. I've never had anyone want their money back. I've never had anyone send it away. 21 day fix is, if you follow it, you get results. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Awesome. Does anybody have any other questions?
I do.
Go for it.
I don't know if I missed this 6th bucket or if I just like popped it in with bucket 5, but was the 6th bucket like share a success or transformation?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I popped that in 5 instead. And also your sweat with Simone, is that like separate from your like challenger accountability group on Facebook?
So my sweat with Simone is my overall umbrella. So everybody, whenever they enroll, get in that. It's a revolving door. Everyone comes in. At the moment, I'm running an alter ego group, and that's for everybody that has enrolled in this challenge group that I've just offered.
Okay.
So 6 weeks. It will expire after 6 weeks. No one will post in there again, but they'll still be in Sweat with Simone. And how I do that, how I word that with them is, when you sign up with me as your coach, you're signing up for Alter Ego, but you have 1 year's access to me. And my clients always get VIP entry to my challenge groups. So Alter Ego was open to 20 people because I offered it to my challengers first. Some of them were already in one because my last month's is still going on. So they didn't need to join Alter Ego. So then I say that, I've got 12 challenges in it. I've got 8 places available. So I kind of put that urgency in it.
Yeah.
And Alter Ego is kind of, it's got like its own little topic. So Sweat with Simone is just forever going on. And I schedule posts all on one day for the entire month. And I know that's pretty shady, like maybe don't do that. But it's literally just to keep the people who are kind of dabbling in it, not following on full attention. Okay. They've still got some content. And I always get it from Beachbody On Demand blog, and just go to that tab. Yeah. Whereas my alter ego is like me going live, me addressing certain issues. It's always got a topic. Like alter ego is about finding our best selves, like digging deep into what makes your soul like light up.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have like 2 minutes. If anybody has a question, shout it out really quick. And if you guys think of any later, just comment on the graphic I posted in the team page and I can ask Simone too. We're all good? Cool. I'm obsessed with you. I'm so excited to have a call tomorrow.
Oh man.
It'll be fine. So anyway, thank you guys for being here tonight and showing up for Simone. Simone, thank you so much for all of this. So helpful. And like I said, guys, if you do think of questions, just comment it in the team page and I will get those to her and relay the message for you. So hope everyone has a great night. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.